Brendon is here. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening everybody and welcome back to another round of the Sim Racing World GT3 Mini Enduro Series, brought to you by our round sponsor this evening, Racecraft Simulations. My name is Brendon Walton and I am joined in the commentary and on production by Chef Toddy. And we're looking forward to bringing you another exciting night in the GT3 series.
Coming to you from Red Bull Ring tonight. This is going to be an absolute cracker, Brendo. This is a great combination. GT3s at Red Bull, one of my favourite combinations. Round 8 this week is going to be absolutely amazing, so it's going to be great to see these guys push out. I just noticed something earlier, just in practice as well. Hughesy's in a different car tonight.
That's very, very interesting. Hughesy stepping away, long-time Porsche driver, obviously, for those of you who do follow along. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes this week. It looked like a BMW, was it? I just saw on screen.
It was a BMW, yeah. He's just pulled back into the pit, so we'll go to someone live still on track. But yeah, he's just pulled into the pits there, so we'll see if we can get a good shot of him.
Obviously, a couple of weeks away from SRW for me, bit of real life getting in the way, so very exciting for me to step back into the commentary booth, catch up with some of the drivers, see how they've been getting on. Certainly missed the Friday night excitement here in the GT3 series.
Well, it's been some crackers, man. Last week was awesome. We saw some awesome racing last week, and they really all gave each other a lot of room and all that sort of stuff. So very respectful racing. So we saw no safety cars last week.
Wow, that certainly is unusual, especially around a track like Brands Hatch. It's very easy to get it wrong around there when you're in a 90-minute enduro. Mistakes tend to happen.
Yep. Yeah, well, very surprised. I think I bet on something like 2 or 3, but yeah, 0. Never saw coming.
Yeah, I think you're quite right what you said at the top of the show there, Toddy. This track really does suit the GT3s, those sort of quicker open wheel cars. It's a fast flowing circuit. It rewards those drivers who are smooth, can line the corners, string them together. I think we're going to see a lot of great racing here, and it's sort of the track too that you can be a little bit fast and loose with track limits. You see Ray Oliver there using all the curbing and some. Real key points are going to be turn one, that real tight turn one off the back of the straight, uphill braking zone. Of course, turn two, the hairpin. As we see sort of on board now, probably a good example as we watch Ray come around the track. Turns 1, 2, and do you call it 3 or 4 there at the bottom, that right-hander?
It's technically really, 3, actually. This corner's actually technically 3, apparently.
Yeah, this is technically 3. So yeah, the hairpin here, and then this other right-hander coming up here, the next braking zone. So 3 really big braking zones back to back, 3 really key passing opportunities, and we'll certainly see those 3 areas, the ones to watch throughout the night.
Schlossgold is the name of the corner, believe it or not. Try and say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I'm generally pretty good with my track corners, but when they suddenly pop up in German or Dutch or Austrian or any other sort of foreign language, I tend to just leave them alone.
100% makes it very, very difficult, doesn't it?
You can't annoy the comment section if you're not getting it right. You can't get it wrong with the comment section if you're not doing it at all.
Yeah, exactly right, 100%. I'll try and grab us up a track map also. Just bear with me. So let's have a look at our weather today as well. So we've got a 13-kilometre crosswind, so that shouldn't bother them too much. 20 degrees track temperature. Oh, sorry, ambient temperature. 21 degrees track temperature. So it's going to be hard to get some temperature in these tyres, but it's going to be very easy on tyres as well. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and it's also not the most demanding track as far as tyres are concerned either. Heavy braking zones, obviously, if you're going to lock up quite a bit, then you are going to flat spot those tyres, but not a huge problem in the GT3s. They have ABS, they have all those good things. So it's not really a high wear track. I wouldn't think safety car chances are fairly high. I think safety chances are definitely sort of 0 to low.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of runoff here. Anyone that does make a mistake is probably going to be able to regather themselves fairly quickly. And as we look sort of towards the last couple of minutes of practice, drivers sort of getting in their last times. Harry Dodd's leading the practice screen here.
Yeah, he was very early on to set some really strong times, and it seems his last lap he's happy with that. He's just jumped off track quite well, jumped into the pits. Just probably sitting in there just waiting to see what other people can do.
And not to discredit Harry in any way, he's certainly one of the quicker guys, but he's not the kind of driver you usually see sitting on top of the chart. You'd sort of put him top 5, but very rarely do you see him holding that number 1 spot.
Must be a personal favourite track for him, I think.
Yeah, I would think so. I know that this track is fairly common in the rotation across multiple series. Boy, big moment there for one of the KFC cars in the background.
What's that in the background? That was Robbie Bradbury there at the back there. So we've got Daniel Byrne on screen. We'll just go back through the back of the pack. Daniel Byrne in the Kitten's car, BMW. Mickey Locke there in the beautiful R8 once again this week. Trying to wrestle that thing around the track. Andrew Proctor, very game man, being in the Lamborghini once again. Peter Pavlovich in the KFC Mercedes there. Mr. Cowie, we see Cowie back in the Cowie Music, Cowie Music and Toyo Sim sponsored purple car there. Beautiful performance sim racing. We have Matty Gerard there, looking very nice again. He's looks like he's having a touch of trouble there out there tonight, but Tyler Sheaf in the Mercedes as well. We've got Grandpa Gowans. He's one to watch. He loves carving through the pack. Ooh, as we come to the end of practice. So what do you think the highlight's going to be? I think the highlight's definitely going to be turn 1 and turn 3. And then that
yeah, one and 3. Yeah, that back sector through 4. Sort of turn 6 as well, that left-hander in the middle of the track as we see it now on screen. You can run quite wide there, get off onto the gravel. A couple of off tracks, it's really messy trying to rejoin there if you've got cars around you. That's certainly a point, more of a mistake point rather than an action point. The final sector tends to be more so off tracks, drivers playing a bit fast and loose with track limits. There we are, good shot of it there up the home straight. Not really an incident-prone section, but certainly very easy to collect a lot of off-tracks. And it's not ideal. 17 will get you a drive-through penalty. Off-tracks are, like whilst I say you can play pretty fast and loose with track limits around here, you can just as equally get 1Xs in really silly spots.
Oh yes, definitely, because you do have to use all the track, and you kind of have to use a lot more apex than it seems like you can around here. To back up what you're saying as well, you know, you have to use a lot of that apex and then try and use as much as you can, as you're seeing into this corner we're coming up to now. A lot of that AstroTurf on that green side, you can use a lot of that if you want to take it really deep as well, and get a lot of runoff down through here as well. You're going to be downshifting into third and then hugging that outside curve, hugging the inside curve, and then back to the inside, and then back to the outside once again. That's some serious pace going down through this corner. It's more of a sort of let off in a downshift rather than a brake and downshift into that top sector, and then you're braking into the second part of it, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of, as I said before, it's a real flowy sort of track. You've kind of got to look at your corners and take them as they come, line up the sort of the next corner as well as taking the one you're currently on. Well, someone's around there out of the exit of the pit lane.
That's Mr. Peter Powell. A bit of an off track there, so I'm not sure.
Bit of a false start there for Peter.
That's alright, he seems to be all good now. Comes down that straight. Down into louder curve. Oh, Matty Gerard with a spin there. He's had a bit of a moment there, it looks like, Matty Gerard. Easy enough to do.
Certainly is trying to use the most possible track out of turn 1. It's sort of a raised, I mean all curves are raised, it's a particularly raised curve there, and if you get a little bit too much on it, that is the result.
And it's one of those, yeah, if you get a little bit too much, but you want to use as much as you can, there's a little sweet spot in the groove in the curve there, at turn 1 there. If you get it, nail it, you nail it out, you'll nail it, but there's a very fine line between what just happened to Matty Gerard and you absolutely nailing it and getting your best time you can.
Oh, definitely 100%. So we're starting to see times come across. Tyler Sheep, first one to settle that time. He'll open up the charts, 131s. Proctor in the 131s as well. Bit of a sighter lap, I think, for Michael Locke coming in the 133s. Jason Lamb showing purple sectors early on. Of course, still a lot of quick guys still to come. I'm just trying to work out why my hiding screen's not working.
We've actually only got 4 people that have actually completed a timed lap so far, so...
Oh no, I've got nothing at all.
Apologies, that was just a interruption on my side there. Apologies, Brendon. No more interruptions now. So sure I haven't missed anything, but Bradbury's on a purple sector here as well. In the Ferrari, we haven't seen many Ferraris throughout the field. It's basically been Cowie, Grandpa Gowans and Robbie Bradbury who have seen them in the Ferraris in recent times, so good to see them still flying the Ferrari flag, but putting in some really nice laps there as well. Cowie there into the 130s, 0.852 with a great little lap there. So Jason Lamb, 2 purple sectors once again. Let's go back on board with Jason Lamb. He seems to really have a handle on this beautiful looking SLM Lamborghini. Jump on board with him. We still have you, Brendo.
Yep, I'm here. I'm just trying to get my timing screen to work. For some reason I'm having trouble getting into the room, but I'll flip it out in the background.
Fantastic. Mr. Lamb are on board. Mr. Lamb at the moment just doing a cracking lap. Just 2 purple sectors once again. So he's our first car to jump into the 129s there, Brendo. So he's into the 129.76. Absolutely brilliant drive there from him. See if he can better it once again.
Definitely 30 minutes, a very, very long time here for qualifying, especially around a track like this. It's sort of not the shortest track, but certainly a quick lap time. Give drivers plenty of opportunities to set laps.
He's very game to drive this Lamborghini. It's a different beast, definitely a totally different kind of beast to drive. But it might be an advantage around here, to be honest. That mid-corner speed is what you want to keep up in a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, especially like this. It might be the winner tonight, mate. This might be a masterstroke.
Yeah, I do agree. I think those mid-engine cars are pretty well suited to this sort of track. They don't have those massive long straights that you see. Where you see the likes of the BMW and the Mercedes really shine.
Really stretch their legs. And right now we've got on purple sector also. If he can handle turn 1 again, no curse to the commentator hopefully this time. Oh no, it's whoa! That was a little bit of a curse. I should have said anything, eh? You must have been watching the stream in the background. Shout out to Matty Gerard then. Hope you're having a good night. Good luck tonight, mate, if you're watching.
Still just trying to get this damn timing screen to work. It's quite frustrating. It's hard to commentate when you can't see the lap times.
100%. Just if you can see my shared screen, might be able to make it out, but it is very hard.
It's a bit hard to read on there.
Still going hard. We've got 2 SLM Lamborghinis out there tonight. It's great to see. So who's going to be the next person to get into the 130, break the 130 mark, you reckon? Definitely looks like maybe Robbie Bradbury right here. Oh, a bit disappearing, just falling in the pits. Pulled his car into the garage there. Jason Lamb back out on track now. But Bradbury's still sitting out in pits, so he's just coming out of pits now, it seems. Let's see what sort of laps Robbie Bradbury can get put together. Because he seems like he might have a handle on this Ferrari as well. And as we were saying about those mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars, it might be an advantage tonight.
Possibly.
So we all sorted from your end, Brendo? Mr. Cowie out there. He's currently sitting in 4th position at the moment, so great to see him up there. But this is just the start. We're only 10 minutes into practice, into qualifying here. These guys got essentially another 20 minutes to go. In that 20 minutes, you're going to see these guys really run their fuel down, run their tyres down, try and get right into that sweet spot, and try and carry it through. So I think we'll definitely see some times tumble into the 129s from the top, at least the top 5, and if not the top 10 tonight. I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's still so many quick guys yet to come. Jason Lamb set the earlier benchmark, but you've still got your Kyle Ridleys, you've still got, Harry Dodds, Ray Oliver, Adam Simpson, Adam Hughes,
All
Jake
our pro
Edwards,
guys.
all these pro guys that can set blistering lap times.
Yep. Do you think, how low do you reckon the pro guys can go?
Oh, what are we now? I think maybe if we get a really good lap, we might see a 27. I think we'd be pushing it to get a 26. Jonathan Kiley out with his first lap. Already sitting purple second lap, sorry. Already in the purples again though. From Lock.
Oh, it was very wide out there. That might have been a 1X there, maybe.
Yeah, that could be a 1X there. That's one of those points on the track where you think you can use a bit of room, but that little bit too wide, that millimetre over the line, all it takes.
And that's the thing, AstroTurf around here is your friend, but the gravel right next to it is like ice. And also that last corner as well, you really want to use that whole exit. If you can pick up a hefty 1X there. Oh! Jonathan Kiley just going around there a bit. As we were just saying, earlier on, just that inner curve of turn 1 is always of louder curve. Always a cracker. We'll see that happen quite a bit in race, I think. It'll be an interesting start off the grid, I think. See how these guys handle turn 1 when they're a couple deep. Hopefully we don't see them too. Hopefully, one devil on my shoulder says hopefully they do go 3 wide into turn 1, and the other one, the angel on my other shoulder, says no, please don't.
I think
I'll see some safety cars if that happens, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're going to see pretty good racing tonight. Once these guys sort of settle into their work a little bit, get a feel for these cars. At the moment, they're sort of just trying to push everything out of them. But I think once we see them get on track, sort of settle into their work, I think we're going to see some really good racing. And this is the kind of track where you can really get good side-by-side racing. Plenty of battles going on as well.
Yeah, late breaking points, etc., etc. Some illustrious dive bombs, I think, tonight. I wouldn't call them a dive bomb. Lunge. That's a nicer way of saying it.
Lunge. I think that's the right term. And the good news, my timing screen is finally working.
Oh, awesome. Back in the land of the living. Oh, Mr. Cowie's just had a bit of a moment there. I'm not sure what's happened there. That's what we were just talking about, that exit of that last corner there. So that's very, very easy to get on.
Right, where are we? Yep, cool. Right, we're in.
Cowie coming back out of the pits after that little moment into the wall there. Who we got out on track? So we got Mickey Locke, he's got a green sector. So he's doing a personal best sector there. It's good to see. And we got another green one. And that's the thing, if you can't get purples, you always want to get greens, eh?
Exactly, and it's a little bit of a smaller too, just looking through. We're probably looking at under 20 cars, which is sort of quite rare for the Friday Night GT3s. But what it does do is perhaps give these other guys, the likes of your Proctors, your Pavlovics, your Cowies, just a bit more of a chance to shine. Obviously, we've still got some pretty scary quick guys in here, but, genuine top 10 points are on the table here for these guys. With just a few key names missing tonight.
Exactly right. So we've got, just to confirm, we've got 21 drivers in tonight. That's excluding our race control, obviously. The illustrious Mr. Brendon. And Mr. Jake Edwards.
Like, backing out of that one. So I don't know if anybody's
Robbie
on a lap
finishing
right
his lap
now.
right now. So as he comes over the hill, see if he can squeeze a couple more tenths out of this lap, eh? Oh, he's only on orange sectors at the moment, so maybe not. Ooh.
bit of expression during the final corners.
That little bit
It's
of
looking-
traction controls kicking in there.
Yeah, so it's looking like a bit of a half. Look at the line at the pit lane. Everybody waiting. Obviously, they're all kind of trying to negotiate something we don't quite know, because it seems the whole field is waiting at the top of the pit lane. Oh, of course, it's AM qualifying and pro qualifying. I've just woken up now. Righty ho, that's why there was no cars on track. See, I've been away for 2 weeks and you forget these things. So now we see the quick guys take to the track.
Here we go, Keefe Keen in the Fire Breathing Dragon. He's had some great weeks, so it'll be good to see him back and see what he can pull out of the bag for Red Bull Ring tonight.
Yeah, interesting as the drivers sort of find their space on track at the moment. Eddie King, Harry Dodds, Kyle Ridley, the first three out. See Adam Simpson just kind of hanging back a little bit. It's going to be really interesting to see Adam Hughes in the BMW and how that goes. Obviously, you know, upcoming iRacing special event or something coming up, or perhaps another endurance racing championship, I think, is in the works. So perhaps he's trying to get familiar with a different car.
That would make sense. Let's see. I
Yeah,
thought it was an interesting choice. I thought it might have just been, you know, might be just a bit of an advantage. He might have thought around Red Bull Ring, or maybe yeah.
I sort of, yeah, I know the team are looking at a sort of specialist endurance series, and perhaps they've made that, they've finally committed to running the BMW, so the driver's choosing to swap over there. Interestingly enough, though, Jake Edwards still in the Whitey's Pie Ryko Porsche, so.
He's in a BMW also. He's a Ryko BMW now as well.
So yeah. BMW?
So it definitely would be something these boys are working together. They get trying to get this car, aren't they?
But Greg Barber was still in a Porsche. Who was that on track in the Porsche?
Greg Barber's still in a Porsche?
Yeah.
We got 20 races by the production.
Yeah, certainly some secrets there from the Racekraft boys with the driver change. Like I say, I've been out of the loop for a couple of weeks, so
yeah, no, this
I haven't really been monitoring the chat. Yeah.
First week we've seen Mr. Jake Edwards definitely in a BMW. And Mr. Adam Hughes. Like, it's very rare to see Mr. Adam Hughes not in a Porsche. I thought he was born in a Porsche.
You know, there's certainly been that rumour going around.
Tell you what, I'm loving this McLaren. He's our only McLaren on the field, and he's actually done really well. Other than our race control, obviously. But, that's Adam Simpson with a cracker of a purple safety there. Let's see what he's up to. He's in the Beamer as well. Maybe these guys know something we don't. And look at that.
I don't know. I was just going to say, perhaps, you know, a lot of drivers changing over. There's been a balance of power change with the new updates, perhaps. You know, that's always a thing. We are in week 13, of course, so new builds, new updates, little hints and changes. These drivers have their finger on the pulse. Jake Edwards sets a purple sector in the final lap, but it's not quick enough to... he's obviously off. Nah, he's off-tracked it. I would say he's off-tracked it. He's only become on the timing screen.
He's got the draft of Simpson now as well, so...
Adam Hughes quickest through sector 2, but only good enough for 4th place. Harry Dodds, purple sector through 1 again.
Oh,
I think it's going to be a really exciting qualifying. These guys are setting pretty competitive lap times around here. It's a track that they'll all be very, very familiar with.
Yeah, everybody's done quite a few laps around here, and it's just one of those kind of tracks, just, you know, different titles and, you know, racing and stuff. It's just it's a favourite of so many. I can definitely see why, you know, fast flowing, you know, it's really technical performance as well. Teaches you track limits, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, and this is a track too where I think, you know, those guys that have been with iRacing for a long time would have seen this track evolve, because it's sort of one of the older tracks in iRacing a little bit, and the track limits have changed as they have done in real life as well. So Basically, anything green is fair game. Anything red, and you're going to be getting an off track. That's a pretty beginner's guide to how the track limits and the astrograss works around here at Red Bull Ring. So you see there, that's a good example. You've got the ripple strip, you've got a little bit of green astrograss. That yellow sausage curb is your final warning, and you cross that, and well, you're probably going to lose control of the car for a start, but you touch that red, and you're going to be getting an off-track penalty. Good example there, coming out of 3 as well. That yellow line, certainly your absolute limit. As we follow Dodds around the track.
That was my fancy drone cam that just showed us the fence, which is a bit unfortunate. So might have to work on that one a bit.
Have to sack the helicopter pilot with that one.
Yep. Here we go. Let the drone pilot do it instead, eh?
There we go. Certainly seems like it's paid off for Harry, that team move this season as well. Going over to Froglet Goose Racing.
Very true.
He's certainly had some pretty good results since moving, so just something to the team, the synergy there. He's certainly getting the results.
He seems like he's calmed down quite a bit on track as well. You know, like he's not risking it for the biscuit as much, which is actually paying off.
Yeah, perhaps he's learned a little bit of patience as well, you know, just on the racecraft side of things. He sort of was a bit of an aggressive driver. He'd look for opportunities, whereas now I think he's a bit more calculated. He's also got a little bit more natural speed as well. He's worked on his speed, so he knows he doesn't need to rely on aggressive passing all the time. But yeah, it's good to see him up there and really doing well, because I know for a fact he's the kind of guy that does put the hours in. You hear these quick guys rock up in post-race interviews and say, "Oh, I did no practice this week and I won."
Yeah, that old chestnut, eh?
Yeah. Whereas I know Harry's genuinely the type of guy that'll put in, you know, a couple of hours worth of work to try and make sure he's running the best he possibly can.
Exactly right. So as I was saying,
it's good to see it paying off.
Yeah, most definitely. It's paying off for a lot of these guys. We've got the top 8 all into the 29s now, man. Oh. Definitely see 28s, I think. Adam Hughes almost into the 28s now. He's only got 2 tenths to go and he's there. So
yeah, not much in it at all for Adam. Jump on board with him there in the number 1 shunts BMW. Weird to say. Very different car to drive too, the BMW, I think, to the Porsche. The way in which you control the car is so different.
Oh, totally different. Yeah, complete opposites, right?
Yeah, the Porsche kind of likes to be driven a little bit on the edge, whereas the BMW is sort of really a smooth, rhythmic kind of car. So it's also physically a lot bigger. So very different driving style. Sorry, I just got thrown off. The neighbours are setting off fireworks in the middle of March for some reason.
Yeah, Bolt.
yeah, each to their own, eh?
Yeah. Oh, we got a bit of smoke up ahead there.
A bit of smoke. Someone's made a last minute call for the pit lane.
Oh, yeah, it's a hard one, eh? If you don't get it, you can take it at quite pace, but you're really hard to put on the anchors if you do take it at pace. This is out of Hughes, then up with another purple sector. Oh, he's just gone quickest again. The 1:29.11, so he's just beaten his previous time by just over a tenth. So if you can do that, do just over a tenth again, he's going to be into the 128s. Woohoo! Can Harry Dodds keep up with him? What do you reckon?
Certainly going to be interesting. Harry's got, you know, a couple of tenths on Kyle and Daniel. So, you know, Harry's certainly got a little something around here at Red Bull this week.
Pretty awesome to see Daniel Byrne up there, pushing some good laps as well. We don't see so many kitten cars in the GT3s, but we see a hell of a lot of them in the F3s, don't we? So they work together definitely very well.
Yeah, definitely. The ones that we do see in GT3, those, you know, certainly they're top drivers. They do really well in the GT3 series. Oh, excuse me.
Mr. Jake Edwards with the green sector, so he's his first sector speed personal best there for him, he's in 8th place. in the 29s also. Let's go back through the back and see how these guys are doing. We've got Ray Oliver sitting in the back. He's just sitting at the back of the pack here, but I don't think he's shown his cards quite yet. We are coming into our last 5 minutes, Brendo, of qualifying, so this is crunch time for these guys. Out of use another purple sector. Oh, he's gone a little bit quicker once again by the look of that, has he? No.
Hasn't jumped up on the timing screen. I think he's off track for that one.
Ray Oliver, Matty Keane, with 2 green sectors there for him as well.
Interesting though, like usually at this sort of time of the qualifying session, you'll see this bit of a slump, but guys are still setting green sectors, so it does show that perhaps the temperature's down a little bit, but there's still plenty of time to be had, plenty of grip when it gets a bit colder as well. The tyres will do a bit more work. That's a very good line through there. That car looks so good coming off the corners.
So cool, though, the fire-breathing dragon. Matty Keane. Oh, up into 5th. What a lap. Come on,
yeah,
breaking into the 1st. Oh, the 129s. What a race. Oh, here we go. Harry Dodds with the purple sector. Let's see what he can make of this.
Yeah, maybe even we jump on board with Harry. We'll see if we can get the lap around right on board with him.
Sounds like a good plan to me. 2 seconds. Also, is anything on orange sector in the second part? So, ooh, it might balance out.
Still got a shot.
This last sector.
The second to last corner here is very much a commitment. You can kind of, it's how much runoff do you sort of risk, because you can compromise your sorry, not compromise, you can maximize your entry and just compromise a little bit on exit and get a really quick time. Comes across the line, still only good enough for second place.
No, 3rd now. Daniel Byrne is just slotting himself
Daniel
up.
Burns just jumped him.
What a lap from Daniel Byrne. Where did that come from?
Look at that though, 29.37, Harry Dodds 29.38, so there's nothing in that for second and third, guys.
Under 100th, that's insane. That is insane.
So 2.5 minutes left, they'll have time to go out and do one more lap.
Oh, Ridley up in 4th now as well, so he's having a stellar time out there as well. His last lap wasn't all that fast, but maybe he's just might be a push lap now, but maybe possibly his last push lap.
I think he'll be lining up for another one. Greg Barber's got a green split through 1. He's sort of down the chart a little bit, currently sitting in 9th place. Expect to see him a little bit higher. This will probably be his final lap. I doubt that he'll do 2 flyers back to back. So Greg here really looking to improve on his time.
He's one to
Orange
watch, though.
through 2.
He loves the cars through the pack. He's patient. He's got some amazing racecraft, so look out for Greg Barber. Even if he doesn't qualify as high as you think he might, he'll definitely be towards the pointy end at the end. We saw was last week.
Pretty reserved line.
From the Crisscross boys. Greg Barber winning it last week, so.
Across the line, it's orange, it hasn't improved. So Greg sort of in the high 129s, 130s. So about a second off the pace around here, give or take.
He might be taking it easy.
Very
There's
interesting.
a lot of carnage on the Red Bull normally, so it might be just an old patient there. Bit of race experience and knowledge, and just going, I'm going to go too hard out the gates, maybe.
Yeah, as I say, safety car chance pretty low, but the chance of having someone run off and getting a free position, very, very high.
Yeah.
So you see a bit of cat and mouse here, probably not gonna have too much of an impact, because I doubt these 2 might get around for one more lap. Oh no, it's 30 minutes is 30 minutes, isn't it, here? So yeah, it's not really a lap worth saving. Greg Barber's green again, but he won't get back around.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, he could be very, very close here. We'll stick with him till the end, because he's the only one that sort of looks like improving. I think you might find he's just going to run out of time. 4, 3, 2, yeah, he's gonna just pop short.
Oh,
But,
nice, got it.
it's
Yeah, up
counted.
into 7th.
It's counted.
Yes. Right to the last moment. What a legend. So he shaved off over a 10th off his last time, so
Oh no,
that
they
was
can
really good.
finish their laps. I thought, okay, they can finish their laps because Ray Oliver's got a green split as well.
See Ray
Watching
Oliver.
Daniel Byrne finish there. We'll jump back to Ray Oliver in the Audi. Currently sitting in 9th. Currently ahead of Jake Edmonds. It's a great qualifying. Well, maybe not a great qualifying effort for Ray, but a pretty poor qualifying effort for Jake.
He's probably just trying to get his head around this BMW.
Yeah, certainly not the Porsche, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
So orange through 2.
Oh, he's got a great sector.
I feel like sector 2 at this track is the kind of one you set one blistering lap time when the rest of the lap is poor, and then you can never replicate it again.
It's very, very true. Never a truer word spoken, isn't it? There's just so many critical control points on this you have to nail.
He comes across the line, he's green through the final sector, he has improved. He's jumped up into 7th, he's just pipped Ray Oliver. Oh, that's Ray Oliver. That is Ray Oliver. He's just picked Greg Barber, sorry. 29.72, Greg Barber 29.74, so very close lap times from those two. Alrighty, so we have our grid. It will be, we're starting from the back this week, are we?
Oh, what the hell is that doing? Apologies, everybody.
Alrighty, on pole, Adam Hughes. Joining him on the front row for Kittens Racing is Daniel Byrne. Harry Dodds manages a 3rd place. Great qualifying effort from him. Kyle Ridley in 4th. Matty Keane 5th. Adam Simpson 6th. Ray Oliver, that great last lap we just saw, 7th place behind Greg Barber in 8th. Jason Lamb and Jake Edwards round out your top 10. Grandpa Gowans and Bradbury 11 and 12. 13th. Jonathan Killey 14th, Matty Gerard. We've got Cowie and Pavlovic back there in 15th and 16th. Proctor and Sheath 17th, 18th. Michael Locke, Helen Hodgkinson, who I don't think has set a time, as well as Dylan Gray rounding out the field for 21. Stephen McCartan and Daniel Fritz, our 2 RC race controllers for this evening. So as always, in endurance racing, it will be a rolling start. Just waiting for the cars to grid up. And then we have a half-ish formation lap. And we'll be racing for 90 minutes around Red Bull Ring.
Oh, look at the lineup. Woohoo! Man, I'm surprised to see so many BMWs in the field and up the actual 20 in too.
And I do think perhaps maybe some week 13 shenanigans going on here. They may be at play.
Oh yeah,
It seems the BMW seems to have gotten very, very popular all of a sudden.
Yeah, somebody they must be talking the grapevine about something we're not quite glued into yet. As we
Alrighty, so the lights come up, waiting for safety car to lead these boys around. I thought it'd be really clever and try and like sneak a minty in between the qualifying finishing and the race starting. It didn't quite work out.
Not quite. It's alright, you'll stay minty fresh for the rest of the stream now.
So on.
Mr. Adam Hughes, interestingly, shots BMWs tonight, very rare to see. Daniel Byrne absolutely smoking, an absolute great lap. Pip, Mr. Harry Dodds as well there. Third, so. I want to see more of this fire-breathing dragon from Keefy Keen though. I'm keen to see Keeney a bit further up the field tonight.
Yeah, I'm just hoping Husey makes a podium so we can drill him a bit about the switch into the.
Let's try and get this into
the BMW. We know Daniel Byrne and the Kittens have been running the BMW for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we see Barney there with the flag, waiting for it to drop. And it's Adam Hughes with control of the field as they come down the straight. And he's going to take them right the way to the line.
Oh, really holding it up. Wow, wow.
That's
how many deep, how many wide are they going to go into turn 1? Dodsy's taken. Oh, no. Dodsy and Hughesy have come together there. Oh, no. He's trying to get it turned around now. Let's just go back up the top of the field. Evie Keen's really profited out of that. Up into first. Wowee.
Yeah, I question whether Adam kind of bit himself in the foot there a little bit, holding up the field so much. They ended up sort of 4 or 5 wide. Coming over the control line, didn't really leave much room for the rest of the field, and Matty Keane got a great jump, took that inside line and just ran with it. Hughes and Dodge find themselves way back in the field now. 13th, and where did Hughes end up? 19th down there. So yeah, not an ideal start from those two. But yeah, Matty King.
The race control there, I think. So Hughesy there. It doesn't look like it's too much damage at least, which is probably just looking on the bright side. Hopefully.
Yeah, it was a pretty gentle contact, really.
Okay, he's in this fight back now. So I'm sure they'll be into race control there, but we'll leave it to race control, Brendon.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's not a job that I want. But like I say, regardless, it's sort of I sort of feel like Hughesy perhaps maybe just held the field up a little bit too much. They were getting a bit impatient, and as a result, it's kind of come back to bite him in the bum. But Matty King, Kyle Ridley, Jake Edwards, they take the lead. That's an off track there from Adam Simpson. That's what happens when you hit that sausage curb, unsettles the car, jumps it up and around. Daniel Byrne 4th, Adam Simpson 5th, so already plenty of changes on the opening lap. Matty King 4 positions, Jake Edwards up 7 positions, great start from him. Pavlovic up 6 positions as well. So already 1 lap down, pretty big movers and shakers through the field. As it looks like we're going to settle in for the train, drivers start to find their rhythm. And no doubt we'll see some side-by-side and some great lunge passing from the slipstream down these long straights and into these heavy braking zones. As drivers start to get some warmth in their tyres and build up their confidence levels. Henry Dodds there, trying to get back past Peter Pavlovic. Oh, and there's no...
That's Jason Lamb, is it? Is that Proctor?
Oh, yeah, the Lamb is
That's Lamb. It is Lamb off.
It's Lamb.
It was. Our top qualifying AM driver having a bit of an off. Dropping down 2 spots. Only 2 spots though. He's in the fight now with Matty Gerard, the other AM driver who's right on his tail. So, he's going to get the inside line.
Going to get it here on the inside.
Whoa, it's squeezing in wide too. Whoa, it's a bit of a love tap.
Really
just saying, come on, bro. Bit of race room.
Going to get in on that action as well. Take the inside line up straight for turn 1.
He's going to make this stick. There he is.
Think Matty.
Pressure. Oh.
That's very well done from Dougie there.
Yeah, that was a bit of patience right there. That was very quick on the let off.
Very good bit of racecraft there to give his opposition the space he needed.
Now Tyler Sheep on the back of Grandpa Gallons, putting a bit of pressure on because he's got a whole lot of pressure on that. Andrew Hughes wide, Adam Hughes wide.
Yeah, but you talk about pressure if you're Tyler Sheep, the last guy you want behind you. This Adam Hughes.
Oh, exactly. But I think if you have Adam Hughes behind you, you want him in a BMW. You don't want him in a Porsche, right?
I mean, you'd want him in in one of those Renault Clios or something, but
there's only 3 wheels. Yeah, then he'd probably still be faster.
Yeah, with damaged steering and a punctured tyre, yeah. Yeah. Makes light work of Tyler Sheep, does Adam Hughes, and he's lining up his next victim.
Let's get an off-board here, this is just crazy.
And the thing is, despite, the incident, we see him sort of fake out to the right and side better of it, You know, he didn't lose that much time. He certainly lost track position, but he hasn't lost a lot of time. He's still in the battle pack. So if he can pick cars off sort of one by one, he'll step out this time, he'll try and hold the inside line. Yeah, he's certainly got the draft there, made the pass stick before the braking zone. Run a little bit shallow, hold that defensive line. Whee, just about got it up on the curb. Still did a pretty good job to keep it under control.
Andrew Proctor in the background just using quite a bit of, just entered the left pit lane, so it's a bit too much of one of those set exits. So he's had a quick moment in the pits. Adam Hughes now putting pressure on Jason Lamb. After Jason Lamb has dropped down another position now as well. That was from Matty Gerard and him having a battle before, but look at this. These guys know who he is though, they know Hughes is coming through, so yeah, it's the best option right. Getting his way.
Not too much of a fight. Gowans and Cowie there in the background, getting past Chief as well.
Go back up the top and see how Keith is doing. He's built up a 1.5 second gap here. He's trying to break this draft. I think it's about 1 point. Yeah, he's probably just breaking it now. It's about 1.6, and he's now 1.6 seconds on Gt3. So he's broken that draft and that slipstream now. He's got that train behind him, and this is exactly what he wants to do early in this race, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just as we switched up to Matty Keane here in the front too, Jake Edwards got the pass done over Kyle Ridley, so he's moved up into second place now as well. So Jake having no issues changing into that BMW. Still going to give him a hard time.
This is his pass, Jake Edwards.
Adam Simpson had his nose up in that business as well.
Definitely
just
trying to
find a bit of
profit
room
on it, wasn't it? Wasn't he? Piranha in the pool, just like, yeah, I'll get the scraps if they're there.
That's a really committed pass on that corner.
That is.
And you see Adam Simpson there trying so desperately to make one as well. Has to be mindful about how much space he's giving through his corners. Slightly better run for Kyle Ridley on the outside coming into the S's.
Trying to keep out
even Daniel in the background, like all four of those guys just really going at it. That's great racing. That's that side-by-side action we talked about at the top of the broadcast. You know, if you've got that mutual level of respect, you can certainly get good side-by-side racing here at Red Bull, as we see Adam Simpson now.
What a legend.
The inside green pass. And you can kind of get the feeling that Byrne in the background is wanting to be stuck behind Kyle Ridley either. He's certainly looking to try and make a move. Perhaps we'll see something up the straight. Goes up to the inside now. I don't think he's quite got the run here. Oh no, I lie, he has. Look at that. Great pass from Daniel Byrne as well.
Beautifully laid on brakes, Daniel Byrne there. That was just made his intention clear and just said, "It's happening, mate. You don't really have you don't have a say in the matter, buddy." That's a straight pass.
It's not very often you see Kyle Ridley looking like he's driving backwards, but Ray Oliver on the back of him now and applying the pressure. Kyle Ridley just, I don't know, it's very unusual to see him falling down through the field like this. Perhaps something's not quite right in the Kyle Ridley camp tonight.
Well, it's a pretty strong field tonight, you got to admit though as well. And then look at Brett Barber behind all of you. You're like, yeah, come on, hurry up, guys. Greg's behind us as well.
Yeah, certainly an impressive train. Some of SRW's finest at work here tonight. 70% fuel cap. Probably expecting that these guys could do this in a one-stop. If they're a little bit aggressive with fuel, we may see a couple of guys do a splash and dash for a second. I think if we have a safety car, a one-stop is definitely on the cards. They'll save more than enough fuel to get home with some smart driving. Of course, we know some of these guys very good at fuel saving anyway, particularly the likes of Barber and Edwards, Adam Simpson.
Getting into the ladder curve. Oh, there's a bit of rubbing there as well. Just making intentions clear.
Braking zone.
Oh, Robin's racing.
Move out of my way, I'm coming through.
Yeah.
Says Dodds, gets the pass done over Bradbury.
Oh, Barb's still making moves here. just putting the pressure on these boys back here, eh? Ray Oliver and Kyle Ridley in a very quickly sitting back of the horse here, I think.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. As I say, it just sort of doesn't look like it's going Kyle Ridley's way, but then, you know, all of a sudden Ray Oliver's kind of just opened up, or sort of fallen back a little bit. There's now a bit of a gap there as we switch back a little bit further in the field.
Apologies, it's just SDK was lying to me there. He said it was a bit of a big crash rather than off track. There's plenty of off tracks around here, so it's confusing. In my box anyway.
It was quite interesting, like a lap and a half ago, Ray Oliver looked like he was really getting sort of the run on Ridley, and now there's sort of like just under a second of a gap there, or just over a second, sorry. You know, it's sort of, it's changed that dynamic, because now all of a sudden Greg Barber's not only having to get past a Ray, but he's got that sort of that gap to make up once he does. So the psyche from Greg changes now. Yeah, that gives you a really good idea. So anything orange, you're looking, or red actually it is, sorry, you're looking under half a second in timing. Anything that's yellow, anything under a second. If it's in white, then obviously pretty significant gap. So you see that battle there, Daniel Byrne right on the back of Adam Simpson, a little bit of a gap back to Kyle Ridley, I say massive gap, the 1.7 second gap back to Oliver, and then that very tight gap behind to Barber, trying desperately to get past the Froglet car. Great shot there from the back of the cars. Daniel Byrne, we're on board with Ray Oliver. You see the Shunts Mustang in the background trying to get through, trying to catch that slipstream. Looks like he's just on the edge of the toe. He's not quite catching him. Great onboard angle there. You see the suspension working over the curbs, all the track and the Astro, but it dust on the exit as well. Certainly an action-packed lap here. It's a pretty simple track, but it also demands concentration. Oh, that's a good gain there from Barber through turn 1. Probably not going to set anything up at 3, but definitely down at 5.
Well, he looks like he might send it here, though.
Gonna make it. No, that was. Yeah, you just sort of bit of a poke of a nose, but he was sort of making sure he got through, getting through clean, trying to set a run up. We've already seen a couple of passes down at 7.
Tyler Sheep has had a crash, but look at this. SDK quick 90 there. Tyler Sheep's. Maybe SDK's going to be in there.
Yeah, it's looking like Greg's in danger here, just kind of settling behind Oliver. He wants to, really wants to get in front, doesn't want to find himself, you know, getting into a rhythm behind the car, because it kind of becomes a bit, you lose time sort of half battling, so to speak. Dodd's making his way back up through the field as well.
Robbie Bradbury getting hassled by Husey as well now, so he's going to jump Bradbury. Well, look at this, and then the battle will be on between him and Dodson once again.
And if you're watching the timing screen, you'll see right at the front Jake Edwards now right on the back bumper of Matty Keane. So a change for the lead is now on. Excuse me, after that great start from Matty Keane, Jake Hughes trying to put the pressure on early. All about exit speed through these heavy braking zone corners.
Seems like
carrying as much momentum as possible. Sorry.
It seems like the McLaren might have a bit of extra pickup on that. A bit better acceleration on the exit.
Oh, definitely. The McLaren's a little bit lighter than the BMW anyway. Very different engine, very different power displacement. The BMW, even though it's not a V8, kind of drives a bit like a V8. It's very very torquey at the bottom, and then it's a lot of power at the top. Whereas the McLaren is just a high RPM acceleration car.
All those flames.
Yeah, all those flames. So there's certainly a contrast. You know, we talked about it from the BMW to the Porsche, but even the McLaren to the BMW, probably even a more significant difference in driving style.
Most definitely. So we've got 3 BMWs in the top 4 at the moment. 3 BMWs just chasing a 5-reading Dragon McLaren in that team. It'd be interesting to see how the pit stop plays out, or how pit strategy kind of plays out with maybe keeping kicks. I hope he's got a good spotter in his corner at the moment, because it's going to be difficult to keep the elbows out, especially the pit straps. You know, people like Mr. Jake Edwards in the old crisscross crew, they definitely work very well together. So you're not just you shouldn't be scared of the car. It's the team also, right?
Yeah, definitely plenty of chatter going on in the Discords.
Oh, is there?
I mean, generally throughout the race, you know, especially in this teams game, we try not to play out the teams games too much. And I mean, there's not really team tactics or team orders or anything like that. But certainly mid-race, these guys are all in their Discords. They're all sort of chatting away, sort of keeping each other informed about how the race is going, tyre progressions, you know, where there's potential danger on track, who's doing well where. All those conversations are definitely happening. Riding on board with Jake Edwards, chasing down Matty Keane up in front. We crossed the 15-minute mark as well. It's almost 17 minutes now, actually. And the field still has quite a few little battle packs in it. It hasn't spread out too greatly. We've got Daniel Byrne with a bit of pressure from Adam Simpson and Kyle Ridley. We've got Greg Barber still trying to get past Ray Oliver.
Definitely got some very wide elbows. Old mate Oliver. So Mr. Harry Dodds now is getting chased up by Mr. Husey Hughes. So I'm sure Husey Hughes from that earlier incident will be back for some blood now, I think. No matter who thinks whose fault is what, I'm sure he'll be back to get his position back, I'm sure.
We never saw anything from race control in regards to that incident, so I would assume very much just a racing incident, no further action. Let the boys just get on with it.
Mickey Locke seems to, he's just at the back here, seems to be using a lot of the oh no, Keithy Keane, we've had a crash just as I went to these guys. The other SLM car, we've got Jake Edwards and Keithy Keane have had a crash. Let's go to that replay. There you go. So Jake Edwards trying to make the move. There was a bit too much brakes there, was there? Maybe. It was a little bit of rub. Oh, they're both. That's weird.
But I don't want to call it early, but it almost looks like it's netcode. Yeah,
that's definitely netcode, because they look like just sort of, you know, magneted together, and then they're both 100% in unison spun.
Yeah, it didn't even look like there was a bump and run. It just looked like they both kind of hooked up and spun, which first suggestions would sort of say netcode, but obviously they'll take a look at that and they'll make a call, because Jake Edwards certainly had a run, but
there's no contact there. Oh, it's a little bit. Oh, yeah.
It's hard to tell from that angle whether there was contact or not, but it's like looking at that in real time, it's the cars wouldn't behave that way if they made contact.
No, it's weird. Go back to live action, see what comes out of that. Jacob Woods. So Keithy Keane, who was leading our race through that turn 1 incident. We've just dropped back down to 10th now, so it's going to be a hard battle for him back there. But Jake Evans is remaining in front of him at the moment, so he's gained the position there. Putting pressure now on Robbie Bradbury. So let's go back into the top and see who's... so Daniel Byrne's profited the most out of all this. So Daniel Byrne up at first now with Andrew Simpson right at Andrew. Why am I Andrew tonight? Adam. Man, wow, where am I getting that from? Anyway.
I think one thing we didn't mention there, which I think is definitely worth noting, massive round of applause there for both drivers involved, doing the right thing, holding their brakes, but even more impressively, the rest of the field being able to navigate them without any contact. They've done very, very well. That's a tough corner to change your line quickly on, and everybody managed to get through without causing too much hassle. So well done to the entire field there. That's a great piece of driving from everybody.
And it's kind of blind as you come up to there as well. So as you come over that kind of rise and you come down and you go, oh, okay, there's somebody there.
In the car there.
Yeah. So Greg Barber's dropped off the back here as well. So he's kind of trying to get out of the way, and I'm sure that slowed him down a bit. He's got Podsy on the back of him now. With then Adam Hughes. In a bit of never land at the moment, isn't he? He's just kind of out there by himself, just trying to bridge the gap. But it's hard when you're pushing. You know, you got clean air, but you're still the one that's breaking the air as well. So until he can get onto the back of these, somebody like Harry Dodds, then he might not be back in the hunt unless he can get this on pit strat, right?
Yeah, I think pit strat is probably the way to go, but I mean we're still quite a fair way from the pit stop as well. Adam's kind of got himself like 5.5 seconds either side of him at the moment, chasing down Dodds, and a pretty comfortable buffer to Edwards, who's still recovering from that little incident there. So yeah, as you say, a bit of open track space. He can sort of smash out some lap times, sort of see how much tyre he wants to use too, I suppose. It's going to be a factor. Not this huge sort of track. Matty Keane looking to make a move on Bradbury. Gives him a little bit of a tap, takes the inside line and will get through. The KFC cars come together in the running order. Bradbury in front in the Ferrari. Pavlovic in behind in the Mercedes. Bargowan's behind that in the green and white Ferrari as well.
Ride back on the hunt again as well. Jason Lamb had a early off track as well, so he's just trying to fight his way back again. But standout so far, the person that's up the most spots has been Toddy. So great to see him up that many spots. He must love this track, and looks like he's really working really well together with his teammates as well. So he's trying to take all angles around here, just trying to close all the doors in front of Grandpa Gallants. Grandpa Gallants is pretty quick. And these guys are working really well together to try and fend him off, eh? Ooh, just as I say this. Oh!
Alan sort of looked like he wanted to take both there, but I think he'll settle for one. Yeah, interesting to see. We don't really see Bradbury and Pavlovic on track side by side all that much, really. This is actually quite a rare occurrence to see them sort of side by side for so long. You might see them kind of cross paths and bit strategies, but great little move to defend the inside there. But it looks like Manny Gerard's going to get the run around the outside, so very good pass from him. Yeah, as I was saying, we don't really see the two KFC cars together all that much, so interesting dynamic to see how they will work together if they do. Obviously a couple of cars in between them now.
Still not over though. He's not letting Manny Gerard have it, is he?
No, definitely not. Like a fly on the windscreen, you just can't squash. Pavlovic sticking right there in the rearview mirror of Matty Gerard.
I want to slow down Pavlovic a little bit, and now we've got Jason Lamb. We can see he's a top qualifying AM driver. He's got some pace. He's going to be feeling some pressure now, I think. Pavlovic. Oh, pitting. We've got a bunch of people pitting now. Here we go. Jason Lamb and Jonathan Carr into the pits. We've got Matty Keefe Keen into the pits.
Now we do know that the Audi has a slightly smaller fuel tank than most of the other cars. So this could borderline be a required pit stop, I think, for the Audis. Obviously, without being able to see their telemetry, it's hard to say definitively.
Taking tyres.
At 25 minutes, that's definitely sort of indicating like it could even be a 3-stop for these guys.
Yeah. It's definitely at least a 2-stop. It has to be.
Or at least a 2, but...
Yeah, I think it's going to have to go to a third. We did see a third last week, so... You know, it's just right at the end, everyone kind of like, oh, no, this is going to get me through. The Keefe Keen out on track now again with some fresh tyres. Full tank of gas, so he's out there again. 0% fuel capacity today, guys. Out there in Euroland, so thank you very much. If you're out there watching tonight, thank you very much. Big shout out to you guys for coming, and thank you very much to Racekraft Simulations, our round sponsor for the GT3s as well. Big shout out to you guys. And everybody else out there in Euroland, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe or that notification bell, make sure you do so you can come back and see us 5 nights a week, sorry, I should say. Yeah,
it's definitely...
I can never, 4 nights, yeah. That's right.
5 nights still.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Yeah, 5 nights.
Yeah.
Mondays and Saturdays we don't stream. Also, too, in regards to subscribing and sharing and getting everybody following the page, we still have our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which we're yet to have jackpot. So when we reach 1,000 subscribers, there is a pretty cool prize giveaway there. The details are on our socials, but make sure you do share the YouTube channel. You get your friends to like as well, or like and follow, like and subscribe, sorry, I'm getting my social media platforms confused now. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We do have that really cool 1,000 subscriber prize pack giveaway, as well as some other couple of really cool events which we tried to run last year and will be attempted to be rerun a little bit later this year as well. So no sort of concrete dates confirmed for them yet, but do keep an ear out because they will be coming. And again, we have some pretty cool prizes up for grabs there, including some Camus gear, wheel pedals, all that kind of good stuff. What is going on? Have we missed a safety car here?
Yeah, we have. Safety cars. We were just thanking everybody out there for coming. We've just seen the safety car, so that would have been from that early incident, I believe.
Yeah, that's bizarre. That does explain the early pit stop too.
It seems that there's had a few off tracks here with Jonathan Quiley, Mike Nicky Locke, Colin Hodgkins, and Proctor's had an off track as well. So after Proctor's had an off track, then Mr. Daniel Fritz has jumped to the pits. So let's have a look. If I've got the right recall.
Yeah, I feel like we've missed something because. Oh yeah, that's definitely the cause of the safety car.
No way. That thing is very broken, so he had to call for a tow. That's, yeah. That's a lot of weight in the back of a Lamborghini going, and a lot of carbon fibre in the front of a Lamborghini, just getting absolutely crushed. As we go, as it stands, Mr. Kyle Ridley is sitting in first. Behind our safety car, Mr. Daniel Byrne, second, and Anderson in fourth. We've got Harry Dodds back up in into fourth, yeah. We've got Greg Barber in fifth as well, so he's taken over Greg Oliver as well. So as we were thanking everybody, we missed a little bit.
Yeah, I think we missed a trick there. Greg managing to get up. Ray just yielding that one. Dodds, making his way back up into the top 4. Husey there sort of recovers into the top 10. Expect to see more from him off the restart. But yeah, Barber again, we've sort of given him a bit of stream time tonight, but a bit of a quiet achiever also. All of a sudden he's sort of down to the pointy end of this field. Still with plenty of time to go too, of course.
He got great points last week. Great Barber, so one each last week. Along with two of his comrades from Racekraft Racing. So it's great to see some, not team tactics, let's not say that. He was returning a favour. Hughes returned a favour to Greg Barber. So, they basically crossed the line all 1, 2, 3, so it was very pretty cool to see actually. Great to see if Mr. Kyle Ridley can hold on to this, to be honest. It'd be hard to see if Ridley can hold on to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, just while we had the safety car, I just pulled up the series and standings. If you're in the Discord, they are readily available there under the GT3 tab. Kyle Ridley currently a series leader, sitting on a 858 points. Greg Barber sitting in second, 819. Third place Matty Keane, 782. So it does drop away fairly quick outside the top three. Couple of close results here and there, but certainly a good strong lead as it stands right now for Kyle Ridley. Probably in his favour too. He hasn't had a zero round yet, so his drop round is worth 132 points at the moment. But yeah, another strong win here, and it really pushes out that lead for Kyle Ridley in the Pro Series. Down in the AM, Robbie Bradbury currently sitting in first place, 848. So not too far off the total for the Pro drivers as well, but again, massive gap back to second place. His teammate Peter Pavlovic, some 90 odd points behind, 756 as opposed to 848. So the AM series a bit more spread out, but certainly the top 4 or 5 in Pro is all to play for with 3 rounds to go. However, if Kyle Ridley can bring it home here with just under an hour to go, it's certainly going to cement his advantage going into those final rounds.
See if Barber can make a few more spots, but he's going to find it really hard to get around Dodgy. I think that's going to be the biggest roadblock for him, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them work together a little bit too. We've certainly seen, if one driver is quicker between Barber and Hughes, they will sort of yield. They'll give the other guy a chance. And in true teammate fashion, if it doesn't work out, they do tend to give it back. It's not like you sort of see where they give it a go and then it doesn't work, so they just, a bit arrogant and hold on to that free position against their teammate.
It's a bit of a reasonable, especially with the teammates, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting if Adam Simpson can hop Daniel Byrne, but we know that Daniel Byrne out-qualified, so he might just have a touch more pace around this track.
Well, I mean, I think after watching that first restart, the initial race start rather, Adam Hughes holding up the field, I don't think that was the smartest decision, and I don't think it's one that Kyle Ridley will be looking to replicate. So coming down now to the final couple of corners. Looks painfully slow there. Field going at 90 kilometers per hour. Waiting for Barney with the green flag. Even though there is no iRacing flag,
he's got it in his hand.
he's got it there. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's not even waving it. What the heck? Come on, Barney, you're slacking.
Adam Simpson already on the push. He's trying to get away from Harry Dodds here. pace. But, oh, Daniel Byrne making the move. Is Adam Simpson trying to make the move? Oh, he's made the move happen. Yes, he's made it done. He's done it. And Daniel Byrne. Oh, and Daniel Byrne's just gone off. No way.
I think he's done it by himself too, by the looks of things. That was just unsettled the car up on the curbs, and he's pretty much just gone from second to last in the space of a corner. Punishing from Daniel Byrne. We'll jump on the replay. Yeah, he's got up on that sausage curb, and it was just hadn't quite had the car pointing the right way.
Oh, he tried to bring it up in front, bro. Oh, it doesn't look like he's got too much damage on that thing. That's good. Oh, Dodsy's had a crash as well, but look at this. If this is going to be the fix. Oh, yes, Harry Dodds has gone off. He's just gotten back as well, so let's have a look what's happened here. Oh, so Harry Dodds, so Barber's tried to make the move on him, has he?
Yeah, it's certainly advantage Barber there.
Oh.
That's an interesting one. That's a very, very interesting one. So, I mean, as far as the pass is concerned, Barber's made the pass. Yeah, that's not one I'd want to be in race control for, that's for sure. At that point, I think it's a bump. And, yeah, I don't know. I think that's definitely a look at the telemetry sort of get all the information sort of call. I'm glad I'm not having to make it.
100%. 100%.
Certainly, yeah. No question about the pass being fair. But yeah, as to the rest of it, we'll just leave that one up to the experts. I think we switch back live, catch Harry Dodds here on a bit of a recovery drive. We move back up the front to his teammate Kyle Ridley, who's opened up a great gap off the restart. Partly in thanks to Daniel Byrne's little spin out there behind him. But 2.5 seconds now after the first lap for Kyle Ridley. We filtered back through the field. Ray Oliver in third place. Greg Barber behind him in fourth. So Ray's got back ahead of Greg there through that little pit cycle with the safety car. And Adam Hughes all of a sudden back up into fifth place and right in contention. I say fifth place, he's going to make a move on his teammate. Tries to get the run out of the corner. This is interesting to see the dynamic between the Porsche and the BMW. Not the greatest camera angle of the tyres there. We're trying to watch the action. Looks like Hughesy's going to slip in behind.
Move was on, so I thought he was going to come down his side, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Fair enough. Has a look again, pokes the nose. This time Barbie yields the inside line, lets his teammate through. Looks into the slipstream. We'll see if we can get the two Shunts boys working together a little bit. Picking off the field. Next in their line is Ray Oliver. Genuinely thought Hughesy was going to have a go there.
Oh, I think he might still.
Yeah, he's got the greatest exit off the final corner. Not quite in that toe. Close enough to get the slipstream, but not so close he gets that pull. Peter Pavlovic now, the big mover. After that little safety car cycle, he's up 8 from qualifying position, currently running in 8th position.
Working with his KFC teammate once again. Great teamwork from these guys, right?
Yeah, it's been, as I said before, it's really unusual we see them running side by side, even though they are first and second in the AM championship respectively. Yeah, they're not really working together as such, but they're helping each other keep out of trouble.
Yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Barber
Randy
off
got
track.
one.
Barber's off track there.
Yeah, and one of the juice cars off the track in the background as well. I think that might have been Oliver.
That was Ray Oliver also.
Yeah, Ray Oliver's dived down the timing chart, so Ray off track as well.
Oh, wow, going up the hill now, so. Oh, maybe it looked like it might have been a coming together. Not sure.
We'll switch over to the replay. We'll see just what happened.
Barb's there. Oh, so Ray Oliver's just.
Oh, there's been contact with Hughesy. Was it?
Oh.
Was that Hughes on the inside? No, that was
That was his
Matty Keane. No, Matty Keane in the McLaren. Hughesy was in front. Might have to wind it back a little bit, Toddy. Oh no, it was Hughesy.
That's Hughesy and Ray Oliver coming together. Ray Oliver's just shot off onto the side.
Very, very interesting.
That's a bit of a did you rejoin?
I think he's timed that well. It wasn't the smoothest traction pickup, but I think he's timed that very, very well. He'll get away with the rejoin, I think. Got another little incident there for race review to look into.
Playing into these top guys' hands now. Adam Simpson, these guys have got a bit of a play by themselves now. Usually up into third place. Wow, after that incident, but that will be reviewed, I'm sure, by Race Control. We'll see how that all comes out, but it won't stop Hughes just pushing hard as he can and keep on pushing now.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we may have sort of seen perhaps another safety car intervention, but all the drivers managing to regather. Certainly time lost for Ray Oliver. We'll keep an eye out on the race control channel to see if any developments come from that. We'll let you know as soon as we know.
He's back under a bit of pressure. Kiki Keane and his teammate Greg Barber as well. It'll be interesting to see whether Kiki gets out of front and then. Oh! Seems like these guys are using as much track as they can at the moment. There's Andrew Proctor's having a bit of a hard time at the back here in the throughout the night a bit in the Lamborghinis, and so might not be a stable car around here. Oh, curse of the commentator. Apologies, Andrew. Oh, wow.
Oh, what a stitch up.
That was brutal. Sorry, I apologise. Let's see if we can get back on track. Didn't do any damage to that thing at least, so that's good.
Just lit the tyre up a little bit.
Yeah, there might be a couple of flat spots there.
Certainly a big moment, but you can see on your timings on your track map there. Certainly a big train coming through the field off the back of that recent restart. And Hughes up into third place. He's benefited very well from it. Greg Barber staying in fifth. Of course, potentially a penalty coming for Hughesy. Was keeping an eye on the race control chat. Nothing coming through yet.
Jason Lamb with some serious pace earlier on. He's putting some pressure on this KFC cars now. So great to see. And Grandpa Gowans is still just chipping away. He's up 2 spots, along with Matty Gerard behind him, with a bit of a gap there. A bit of an interval there, but Matty Gerard having a great race also.
Yeah, Matty Gerard, always a bit of a quiet achiever when it comes to races. You never really see much of him in the action, but all of a sudden he finds himself in a top 10 position as we approach the up waymark now here at Red Bull Ring. Round 8 of the Sim World Racing GT3 Mini Endurance Series, brought to you by Rackraft, our round sponsor for this evening. And drivers just kind of starting to settle in, I think, for the second half. I would think most of them have taken their tyres under safety car, so that fuel saving battle, I think, has already begun. As guys are trying to push that one-stop strategy here. That safety car kind of fell at the perfect time for the guys that can fuel save. Those extra 3 or 4 laps.
So maybe we'll jump on board with Adam Simpson.
Yeah, listen for those sort of clutch coastings. Look for those short shifts. Doesn't look like he's short shifting. Definitely a bit of a coast. Well, I mean, it's a pretty coasty corner anyway, to be fair.
He's definitely floating through the corners a lot more, isn't he?
Yeah, I think too that's just a sign of a really smooth driving a bit around here though as well.
So it kind of, the BMW definitely, the smoother you are in them, definitely benefits in the BMW. Very smooth as well. It looks like it's pretty in tune with this BMW here. Hodges and into the pit lane as well. He's had a bit of a rough night. He's had a few off-track zero stuff, so we might be just serving up right through the there maybe.
Well, at this stage I haven't seen anything in the race control chatter, so Adam Hughes still on track in 3rd place, so I'm going to assume the decision was no further action. Adam Hughes now starting to put the pressure, or just starting to get into that 1 second or under 1 second on the timing screen, putting a little bit of pressure now onto fellow Adam Simpson of Fishy Motorsport. And back through the field, Matty Keane 4th, Greg Barber in 5th.
Still fighting. Greggy Barber never gives up, does he?
No, definitely not. Again, another one of those guys, you've just got to always keep in the corner of your eye, because all of a sudden he makes a few positions and you just don't quite know how he's done it. And the other one that's just taken me not by surprise, but sort of worth noting is Robbie Bradbury now up into 6th spot on track overall.
Really driving.
Leading the AM series, and it's great to see him. Real strong top 10 finish. We talk about the field being a little bit smaller at 21. We've certainly seen fields pushing 30 here in Friday nights. The quality of field here tonight, though, very, very high, both in AM and Pro.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe it's just because it's week 13, everyone's taking it. A few people taking a week off, maybe. Who knows? Or it might not be some people's favourite track either. You either love or you hate Red Bull Ring, don't you? So.
I don't know too many people that hate it. It certainly has its challenges, but I think that we've sort of alluded to a couple of times. It's very well suited to quicker cars, your sort of Formula 3s, your Formula 1s obviously, but also your GT3s and sort of maybe even prototype racing as well. It's quite a big, wide, it's not wide, but it's certainly an accommodating track for the quick car. So Kyle Ridley in the pit lane, so that's very interesting. I'm guessing he didn't pit under safety. No, he didn't pit under safety car. There we go. So that makes a bit more sense. So he'll be looking for a one-stop strategy from here. Choosing not to pit could pay costly given that the field haven't really spread since that restart. So already as he takes to his pit box, he's in 10th place. So you're looking at about a 20-second pit stop time, and as Kyle Ridley's approaching that very, very shortly, 22, 23, 24 seconds, 25. He's had the longest pit stop here of the entire field, bar Michael Locke, who... sorry, not Michael Locke, sorry, Callum Hodgkinson, who had a bit of damage. So perhaps Kyle Ridley had a bit of damage as well, because a 30-second pit stop time, the second slowest in the field, and from first place he finds himself, well, 17th, effectively the last car running on the lead lap. So very costly trip down the pit lane for who was our race leader, Kyle Ridley. 31 laps completed here at Red Bull as we sort of approach the 50-minute, or just past the 50-minute mark now, sorry. Adam Hughes finds himself in the lead of this race. Matty Keane goes into the pit lane as well. He has pitted previously. I think he pitted in that earlier pre-safety car lot from memory.
He'd have to be saving now, though, wouldn't he?
Well, I don't know. He could probably afford to burn a bit of fuel, but he just needs to be aware of when he needs to start saving. If he's got a good idea in his head about how much fuel he can save per lap and how many laps he's going to save over the space of, say 10, 15 laps around here, if he saves... Hang on, let me start that again. If he saves... If he does 10 laps, for argument's sake, and saves 1 lap of fuel, he'll have that calculation in his mind. He'll know sort of when he can pit, and I think that's the same for a lot of these guys. If they know that every 10 laps they're going to gain an extra lap, they'll drive a bit more conservatively. If it's not really worth it, then I think they'll continue as they are, and perhaps a splash and dash is a better option. Bearing in mind that, total transit time in the pit lane, you're looking about a minute, which is basically 75 or 2/3, 60% of the lap. Adam Simpson here, second place, just breaks into that 1 second split. 0.9 pops up on the timing tower to the left in yellow. Right. Toddy's just having a bit of mic issues. Good just to not have me talking down your eardrums even for just a few seconds and enjoy the natural sound of these beasts on track as well. Greg Barber, again, we talk about that quiet achievement. Up into third place now. Robbie Bradbury sitting in fourth. Geez, imagine if he could come through and take out a podium from tonight. How special that would be for him.
So awesome. Hey, we got Grandpa Gowans and then Peter Pavlovich.
Yeah.
Wow,
Grandpa
man.
Gowans
4, 5, and 6
Pavlovich,
all,
right there.
All AM drivers. We got 3 pro drivers followed by 3 AM drivers. That's awesome.
I do wonder a little bit with the van though, whether or not it's currently race legal. It barely looks road legal, let alone racetrack legal.
Very true. That is right. Still on the hunt here. Ray Oliver is definitely one to watch. He'll be on the pushback. Cowie making the move on Jonathan Kiley here. Beautiful moves there. Down the inside. Beautiful move. Down through the last corner. Start finish straight. Oh, who's getting the better exit? Maybe Jonathan Kiley might have his eye in to be able to get this spot back. What do you reckon? Oh, is he going to be able to make it? Oh no, he's just still keeping the pressure on there though. And unfortunately for down. Oh no, just as I say it as well, Jonathan Kiley Oh, the
Well,
massive
that
moment.
his safety car all over it. He's got it spinning.
Oh, he's got it back on track. Oh, mate, that cannot be a
Right.
healthy car.
He's in a pretty compromising position though. Coming up to turn 3, so no, I don't think he's running at a reasonable pace, so he shouldn't hold at the field too much.
It doesn't look like he's grabbing too much, really, does he?
No, it's just surprising considering how hard he's at the wall.
Oh, no, not again. Obviously had a lot more
there you
damage
go.
than we thought then.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably put the nail in the coffin.
I think so, most definitely. And it's not a healthy looking car right now, is it?
And we've seen this a couple of times throughout the series where guys trying to nurse their cars back, but probably end up doing more damage than good. Yeah, looks like he's got a decent amount of sort of track space around him at the moment to sort of get that car back as far as possible.
We've got a little bit of a gap here, but it's still worrying levels as far as it uses shoes right now. It's still a bit too close for comfort, right?
Yeah, Adam Simpson rather, is certainly one of those drivers who just waits for the right moment. He doesn't always put those passes on like Adam Hughes perhaps would, but definitely the driver that's quick enough to be around and waits for his opportunity.
A big gap back to Barber.
Yeah, massive.
Up now.
4.5 second gap back to Barber, a couple of seconds back to Bradbury. Gowans and Pavlovic still running together as well, or not together, but in order on track as well. So great drive from these two KFC boys. Matty Gerard, another AM driver, sitting in 7th. Like, where have all the pros gone?
I know, hey, it's crazy, hey. So we got 3 pros, then 4 AM drivers, and then goes back to a pro driver and Ray Oliver at the back here. So now 8th place. Cowie in 9th place. What a drive from him. He's up 6 spots.
Cowie in 9th. The AMs are dominating tonight. Daniel Byrne, pro in 10th. Beef, an amateur in 11th. Matty Keane, a pro in 12th, with Dodds, Ridley, Lamb behind him. Couple more AMs and Michael Locke and I think Jonathan Kiley's a pro from memory off the top of my head. But yeah, it's such a diverse split throughout the field tonight. And it's great to see the AM drivers doing so well.
Yeah, and it's just one of those there's one of those tracks that always shakes things up, so doesn't it? It's just how much risk you have to take.
Yeah, and I think fortune's favoured the Brave tonight as well. There's certainly been opportunities where right place, right time, and positions have been made. We look at the mover and shaker board at the moment. Pavlovic up 10 positions, and whilst he's always been in the area, he hasn't really made passes. He's just sort of, as I say, right place, right time. He's capitalised on others' mistakes. He got a pretty good run through the pit lane. He's benefited from that. He's running in 6th place, probably one of his better results if he can convert it. As far as overall race position is concerned. Great solid drive from the 2 KFC cars thus far tonight. Really can't fault those boys.
Yeah. Probably Bradley just patient. He's been, he's kept out of the trouble, which has been quite a mean feat tonight. So. You're going to be able to bridge this gap, you reckon? He's got plenty of time to do it, but coming into basically wrapping out our first 2 thirds of the race. So we're going into the last third of this race, and we'll see some more pits coming soon, I'm sure, as well. Well, it's been an interesting mix of different pit strats, actually. We haven't seen a massive procession of on the same lap. Yeah, we've seen a few people come in at the same time, but not the whole field or a majority of the field. I think so. Been some mixed strategies out there. It'll be interesting to see whose strat pays off in the end.
And it's certainly interesting, looking at the cars in the lead lap, the top 18 cars. Colin Hutchinson rounds out the lead lap cars. Cal's been through twice. Jonathan Kiley obviously has put a second time with his damage. Jason Lamb's been through twice. Potentially a bit of damage on that car. But then you've got Matty Keane, who's gone through twice. Tyler Sheaf's gone through twice. Everyone else is going through the once so far. And of those one-stoppers, I think we're going to see maybe like a 50-50 split, perhaps, of guys that are going to fuel save to finish and guys that are going to try the splash and dash. Oh, great shot of the interior of the car there.
I'm just trying to get a good shot of the flames.
Get the flames. There we go.
Get the flames. Oh, so Dodsy's into the pits now. As we just see, just peeling off in the background there. So, really interesting. So Keefe Keane is going an extra lap, maybe a few more. But Keefe Keane was one of the earlier pit stoppers as well, so interesting to see.
Yeah, it's quite bizarre. Like, if you're taking it and setting to a two-stop strategy, I kind of question whether they have the track position to do that, pitting from the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that there are guys attempting one-stops here.
Yeah. And there's Dodsy up on tyres, so he's got tyres as well. Not sure if he took tyres last pit, but... no, so he's taken... okay. The second time he's taken pits. First pit stop he didn't take tyres.
Right, there we go. So it's been quite interesting the strategy and the changes with the GT3s. I know even in some of the other series, we've talked about a little bit, or we've not talked about it much, but we've certainly seen the strategy play out over, when to take tyres, when not to take tyres, how much fuel to take, all those sorts of good things, because it certainly changes race to race, and it can seriously impact how things go. And tyre changes are costly. They take a lot of time.
And then it takes a lot of time to get them back up to temp as well, etc. As well.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking like another sort of anywhere from 6 to 10 seconds to change the tyres in a pit stop, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're sitting in the pit lane, screaming at your computer saying, "Come on, let me go," those extra few seconds don't really feel worth it in that moment.
Yeah, 100%. Until they come into temperature and you're like, oh, actually, it's
yeah. Once you start passing cars left, right, and centre, and you think, yeah, this was a good decision.
Yeah.
Interesting though, looking at the track map in the top right-hand screen, it's still sort of trainy. Certainly battles going on. Tyler Sheaf just been passed by Matty Keane, but he ain't giving up that easy. Galvin's over the back of Bradbury, Oliver and Gerard in the back of Pavlovic. This little battle here though between Sheafy and Keane is quite an interesting one, because Tyler Sheaf, obviously, as we all know, dirt background, not really a huge racer. He's come to SRW, stepped into the GT3 league, improving every week. I think if he was to finish in 12th, he would be a very, very happy man tonight. Certainly be one of his stronger finishes so far.
Most definitely. He's definitely building his consistency. Definitely over the last few weeks, I've just definitely noticed it. Built his consistency a lot, and that's definitely starting to pay off. Keefe Keane still trying to get his spots back from his great start. He did lead the race early on, and now he's just on the clamber back to try and get himself back to the spot he was. It's not a nice place to be in a race, but that's just racing for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Bit of a lap traffic potentially for Adam Hughes right now. Adam Simpson's still trying to chase him down. He's 2.8 seconds behind. And yeah, definitely some lap traffic starting to come into the fold.
Behind Dotsie. Wow, that would hurt. Considering where they started 1 and 2. The Dotsie's all the way down at 16th. He's just made his way all the way back up to first again. So, oh, it's a bit rough, isn't it? But, you know, that's racing.
Definitely very interesting indeed to see how their two races have played out. Cowie into the pit lane on the timing screen for his second stop. So that's the car in the back, man. That's the safety car sitting in the pit lane.
Big shout out to the Prime Department for all your support for the safety car again. And out to Race Control as well. Thank you very much for all your hard work. Shout out, boys and girls.
A massive shout out to all our league sponsors, of course. Without them, none of this can really happen. Melville Tools, Warren and Brown Equipment, Toyo Sim, Racecraft, Grim Industries. I feel like I'm missing one more.
Simrigs.com.
Simrigs.com. There we go. I can never do them all. And the one that I forget is always different to the one that I forgot the time before.
Yeah. This one's going to drop out of my brain. Yeah.
It's so funny like that, how it happens. So a little bit of a nose poke there from Doddsy trying to get past Hughes again.
He's making his... maybe he's just saving a few years.
Possibly. Certainly an interesting dynamic for Dodds, and this will show how he's matured, because I think Dodds from a couple of years ago would have just sent this. Absolutely sent it. Whereas now he's just being a little bit more cautious when it comes to when to make his move.
That's what we see. Something happens, or there's a little bit of not so much patience showing. It kind of ends badly for one person.
Yeah. Definitely, and I've always been fascinated with the racing line these guys take through one, pretty much bring the whole car up on the ripple, because you try that anywhere else on the track and you're gonna spin. Like, they're not friendly, but surprisingly at turn one you can get right out onto the astrograss to really open up that first corner. And when you get it right, it's amazing, but you can get it wrong just as easy. And Adam Hughes is probably one of the few guys you watch that just gets that right every time.
Yeah, there's definitely a sweet spot. That's definitely paying off, this BMW. Very interesting.
I think he'd be quick in anything that he drives, to be fair.
Grandpa Cowan's pretty serious,
I mean, if I was to take an educated guess here, and this is very much just a guess, I think Hughes and Simpson will be saving to the end. Barber, Bradbury, Gowans, Oliver, possibly a splash and dash. We've just seen Pavlovic dive into the pit lane as well from 6th position. So teammate for Bradbury. certainly looking like a splash and dash to the end with 20 minutes left here on the cards.
He's up on tyres.
Yeah, quick tyres as well. Sprint race to the finish now. Definitely Pavlovic out of the pit lane now. Comes back out in 13th position from, where was he? 4th? 5th? 4th? 5th. Yeah, so he's lost 8 there. Not as bad as was it Oliver or Ridley before pitting from first and going right down to the back. Matty Gerard in the pit lane as well now, so I think we are starting to see a few guys try to execute that little splash and dash, perhaps opting to take tyres as well. Freshest rubber possible for the last 20 minutes to get home. Still another, it's what, another 12 laps I suppose over 20 minutes.
To the pointy end, mate. Matty Gerard just splash and dash, no tyres there for Matty Gerard. Nicky Lock, no tyres.
Apparently you're coming through a little bit quiet on stream, boss.
I am?
Yeah, apparently.
Apologies. I'll turn myself up then. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh no, too loud. Joke, I'm not sure. We'll sort of wait till we get some more feedback from the viewers on that one.
Let me just mute myself.
Been a long day for me actually. I've been up since sort of 5 o'clock this morning and it's now almost 11:30 local time here in New Zealand. I feel like I'm sort of struggling to hold on to the end of this race, so hopefully I'm glad it's kind of just exciting enough that it's keeping me awake.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great race, mate.
It's certainly interesting to watch.
Everybody is starting to build up a bit of a gap between each other now. Grandpa Gallant's still on that little bit of a hump, trying to keep that under a second gap there, just trying to keep some draft. All the while, Robbie's trying to shake him off his tail. I'm sure he's sick of seeing the green in his rear vision mirror at the moment.
Well, I think you'd rather see it in the rear vision mirror than in the windscreen.
Yeah, this is 100%
correct. Look at that gap. It's at that gap it's really starting to open up.
It is, yeah. We might be saving a bit of fuel here.
Well, they all last pitted lap 17. That is Adam Hughes in first, right back through to Daniel Byrne in 7th. The rest of the field now looking like they're cycling through second stops. Matty Keen's been through twice. Kyle Ridley's stayed out, but his first pit was lap 30. Tyler Sheaf, that's his third pit stop, so potentially a little bit of damage somewhere along the line for Tyler Sheaf. Adam Hughes in the pit lane.
Here we go. Adam Simpson in. Barber's coming in. Oh, our top 3. Here we go. Smart move, boys.
Yeah, so the one stop not quite possible here at Red Bull Ring.
They might do the splash and dash. This is where it comes to strat. How much? He's going to take the least and then try and just save it the way home.
I don't think any of these boys are going to be brave enough to take tyres at this point, surely.
Surely not. We got Hughesy up on tyres. Yep, Hughesy on tyres. Wowee. Simpson no tyres. Barber no tyres.
Maybe.
Robbie Bradbury got tyres as well.
Robbie Bradbury got tyres.
So wow. Grandpa Gowans is our leader for this race at the moment, just because everyone's jumped in for the pits, etc. So that will balance itself out. And enjoy your clean air out on track in the lead for a little bit, Grandpa. Nice work.
Yeah, well, he also pitted lap 17, so the same as the other boys have just gone through their pit cycle. So I would go as far to say we're probably going to see Grandpa into this lap. Hughesy there, making his way back through some lap traffic.
Past Callum Hodgkinson.
Yeah, new livery there. Can we get a bit of a look over that livery?
Let's have a look at that. Looking cool, I'm liking that. That is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a graffiti looking sort of Dara, and also too switched to the Audi. So
Yeah, true.
Callum, of course,
Shake-ups.
long time runner of the Poolmaster CXR Mercedes.
Yeah, 100%. Grandpa Gallus
So
into the pit
yeah,
station.
really interesting swap there from Callan.
Looks cool.
Has to be
though.
said. I might need to jump into the Discord tonight after this race and catch up on some of the gossip.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you got a good setup for it, mate?
It's like we're all having a bit of a swap around the cars.
Yeah. Oh, Simpson's bridged this gap here. That was a great little pit stop from Adam Simpson there, so it'll be really interesting to see.
Gowans rejoins the track in 5th place, immediately passed by Kyle Ridley, so that'll put him back into 6th place on track now. Matty Keane just slightly ahead of Barber.
Oh, really underpressed by Robbie Bradbury, and Grandpa Gowan's trying to make this move, finally trying to make this move on Robbie Bradbury. He's been patiently sitting behind him this whole race.
Trying to get it back, didn't quite get the overcut that he was hoping for. Bradbury just had a little bit too much, well, a little bit more speed rather, coming off the exit of 1 as opposed to Gowans leaving the pit lane. So not a bad effort for an overcut there from Gowans, but just not quite pulling it off. Still finds himself behind Bradbury.
That'd be frustrating, yeah. You're like, yeah, I think I've got him on pit strap, and then go, oh no, come on.
Well, it certainly left us with a couple of battle packs as we go into the last sort of 12, 13 minutes now. Barber and Matty Keane. Adam Hughes is kind of driving away with it a little bit up the front. You've got Bradbury battling with Gowans. You've got Daniel Byrne and Ray Oliver both battling Jason Lamb back there for the final spot in the top 10. So just a couple of little battles. Yeah, we'll switch back there to these guys battling it up 10th. A couple of little battles throughout the field as we get down to the closing stages. To be a really good battle to watch unfold, actually. Also, plenty of action up there with Gowans.
Gowans, I think he's finally going to make this move happen, but who knows? Got all this action going on, so I'll just try and keep a look at my timings, make sure. Oh, is he going to make it? Closing the door, Mr. Lamb, closing the door.
Two really good battles going on here, and you know, Murphy's Law, whichever one we're watching, the action will happen at the other.
100% always the way, isn't it?
Aggressive line on exit there for Greg Barber, trying to hunt down Matty Keane.
You can see this battle, you know. He's behind the fire-breathing dragon once again, Greg Barber. He'll be biding his time. Doesn't have much time left though. Just over 10 minutes of this race to go, guys. This is getting a bit of a pointy end, and it looks like Barber might have a little bit more track pace than him. I don't know. It's a big call, but
Yeah, I think if you're Matty Keane, you sort of might have that feeling that you're a little bit disadvantaged being in the McLaren. The Porsche generally tending to be a stronger car. Not helped by the fact you've got, you know, one of the best operators in the business right behind you, the quiet assassin, Greg Barber making positions, trying to fight for that last spot on the podium. looking for a Shunt CXR double podium. We've seen it a couple of times before already this year.
We have. Been pretty exciting to see also, actually. I'm still enthralled with this battle, the battle of the Ferraris. It's no Ford versus Ferraris tonight. It's just been these two guys battling out all night.
Again, how good has Bradbury been tonight? Just such a solid drive from our AM Series leader.
Oh, and Daniel
Right
Byrne
up
might be...
there
Oh,
amongst the
Daniel
pros.
Byrne's just made a move on Lamb here. Is he going to be able to make it stick or keep it? Oh, I'm not sure. I think Lamb's hit back at him. Daniel Byrne was trying to make the over-under. Not making it stick.
Yeah, look for a crisscross, sort of decided he didn't quite have turn-in, so he slips back into the toe. On the wrong side of the track, really, to make a move around the second to last corner, unless he's trying to set like up a big sweeping kind of swoop for a T1 dive bomb here.
Daniel Byrne's still on with this battle with Greg Barber still going on as well. So we've got 3 battle packs here at the moment, guys. Still going on this late in the race. This is when it gets pretty heated.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go, those last sort of jostles for position.
Daniel Byrne will switch back once again. Looks like he's going to be able to try and make this happen on Jason Lamb once again. Matty Gerard looking quite worried there. I would be. These guys are pushing behind you, but they are having a battle, so it could go 2 ways. They're going to catch up to you really quickly, or someone's going to make a poor decision, and they're going to lose a bit of time. He's definitely hungry for it. Daniel Byrne in the kitten's car, definitely hungry for it. He wants to get around that really wide Lamborghini at the moment. Might look like a pretty wide track, but once you're on there with a couple of GT3s, it becomes very, very narrow. Going to try on the outside again. He's going to go the over-under. Or is he going to try and... Oh, yeah, it looks like he might be. Oh, maybe he's just setting up for the next lap. I just can't just find a way past.
You don't see too many passes through those last sequences of corners. You've really got to line them up right. The guys that sort of put themselves on the outside of the track, they try to get that sort of over-under crisscross move going, but the sequence of corners doesn't really allow for it.
He's made it stick there though, and what now he's made that stick. We'll go back up to Greg Barber's little battle here with Matty Keane. He's hounding the back of this fire-breathing dragon. Can he get round him?
I think give it a couple more laps.
Oh, Barber!
Oh, Barber's run wide.
Oh, that would have been a hairy moment inside that cabin. He would have been
Bit of an unforced error. I was just about to say, give it a couple more laps, and I think we'll see Barber start to throw the kitchen sink at it. But clearly, he's already throwing it in there because using all the racetrack and some. Not the quickest way around the racetrack generally.
No, he's still got this battle. Lamb's still not giving up on Byrne here. Still just trying to stay into that. Best of Lamb, he should be happy he's staying into the top 10, but he still wants to get a bit higher, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. Look, this has been a great race for Lamb. He's one of those guys that, you know, we see week in, week out, but it's the first time I can recall him sort of being in the podium hunt, particularly for the individual race here, but also, you know, just sort of pushing his chances a bit more in the overall championship.
Done very, very well. As for still this battle just rages on. This has been since lap 1, hasn't it, these two? Just going at it. It's been really great to see these two. I wonder if Gowans is going to be able to make it happen. Or has he just resigned himself to the fact it's not now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's sort of just biding his time. Got what, 6 minutes to go? It's probably 4 laps maybe. Just trying to line up the right opportunity, I think, Gowans.
Speaking about opportunities, Greg Barber looks like he's still got some serious pace. But Matty Keane looks very, very solid on track still this late point of the race, so it's looking really good. It was a great battle for him to get back through the pack as well. Not only for Matty with that early incident, but with Greg Barber actually not having the best qualifying he could have. He's going to try and make this move stick down through Remus, try and do the over and under. Doesn't look like he's quite got enough pace. He needs to be real close. He seems to be able to get onto the back of Matty Keane, but not enough to be able to sort of show his nose enough to be able to put him under enough threat at the moment.
Yeah, he can get into the toe, but he's just not quite in it long enough to sort of get that slingshot pass going. Sort of just looks a bit to be fair, like you can't overdo it because the battle's been so close. The last thing you want to do with 5 minutes to go is, send it in way too hot and ruin all that hard work you've put in throughout the last 90 minutes.
And it is a lot of hard work as well. Everybody out there watching, yeah, these guys would be sweating up a storm right now, and their rigs just going, "Oh, mate, it's pretty hard, Yakka." That many,
I mean, and between these two and Bradbury and Gowans, they've just had it full stop for the last hour. It's just been so interesting to watch how it all unfolds.
Incredible. And still, Gowans still just up on the timing tower. You can see in the yellow there, he's still under a second behind him. We'll stay on this battle because these guys are just hounding each other. They've had a fat battle for the last, last third of this race, really. So interesting to see who's going to come out of this on top. We saw Greg Barber win last week with his two teammates in second and third. So it was 1, 2, 3 for Crisscross. So it'd be nice to see Matty Keane, SLM boy, upset the Crisscross boys for once this week. It'll be good.
Yeah, we're certainly going to get a 1, 2, 3 this week. It's looking as though Adam Hughes has kind of driven away with this. Adam Simpson also sitting fairly comfortable in second place. This battle will be right on board with and probably will continue to do so for the closing few moments of this race. As for that final spot on the podium, I even switch to a lap of onboard. Let you guys listen and experience the sounds of the Porsche 911. See in real time the fire-breathing dragon of the McLaren in front. There we are, jump on to the helmet cam. Interestingly, opting to run out of the toe. Alright, we'll keep quiet, we'll let you enjoy the sights and sounds of a hot lap around Red Bull Ring.
So it looks like Barb's actually pulled out there a little bit. So he's definitely come off the gas. Maybe he's a bit worried about his fuel levels. Maybe we can't see his schematics there on the dash there.
It sort of seems that to be the case because That lap was certainly significantly slower from Barb's. He really fell off the back of... I'm losing it.
Of Keithy Keane.
He really fell off the back of Keithy Keane there during that lap. And he's kind of just sort of almost surrendered himself into fourth place there off the back of that, because he's opened that gap right up. Grandpa Gowan's back in the hunt again for Bradbury for 6th place. Pretty strong results for both of these guys. I'm pretty sure they'd both take that result of 6th and 7th respectively.
Oh, honestly, if I was Grandpa Gowan's there, maybe that's what he made the decision a couple of laps ago. He's like, no, I'm just happy to stay here. It's the 7th, I'm happy with that. Just don't spin in front of me, Robbie.
For the likes of these AM guys, the top 10 finish in the overall field is really good for their points.
So Cowie on Jason Lamb now as well, putting some pressure on.
I saw that just pop up out of nowhere. Cowie really starting to put pressure on.
Let's have a look. We've gone our timing has gone over. Here we go.
Well, there goes Barney. So we track down Adam Hughes going across the line there. Now we wait. It's 11 seconds back to Adam Simpson in the fishy car. There he goes across the line. Matty Keith coming home. 3rd place, Greg Barber. Possibly a little bit of fuel saving at the end. Hard to really say. Comes home in 4th. Kyle Ridley 5th. Robbie Bradbury 6th. That's probably a season best for him, I think. I'm just going to put it out there right now.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Gowan 7th. Matty Gerard 8th. Daniel Byrne 9. Peter Pavlovic will be coming home very, very shortly, right now in 10th.
Cowie's a great drive as well. Up into 11th, so he's made that move stick on that last lap. Wow, beautiful move there by Cowie. Just getting it back. Oh, look at that, Jason Lamb in that. Bit of a hard luck for Jason Lamb tonight. He was very, very fast. He was our top qualifier in the AMS class, so a bit of hard luck for him tonight. But it's a different beast that Lambo. So I wish him luck for next round as well.
Definitely, and we get down to the pointy end of the season now, of course, that being round 8. We only have 2 weeks left to go, and a couple of really good tracks coming up in the calendar as well. Bathurst, I believe, coming up next week for the Australian segment of the series. Before we head over to Le Mans for our season finale. A bit of a change up. Heading to Le Mans, that's certainly going to be one to watch if you are around in 2 weeks' time. But just to run through our race results quickly once again for you. Our race winner tonight, Adam Hughes in the BMW. Adam Simpson, Matty Keane, Greg Barber, Kyle Ridley, Robbie Bradbury, Doug Gowans, Matty Gerard, Daniel Byrne, and Peter Pavlovic rounding out the top 10. And then from there, we had Cowie, Lamb, Oliver, Sheath, Pilley, Hodgkinson, Locke, Dodds. Had a really rough second half of the race, actually. Proctor, Edwards with a DNF. And as we roll down to the last car classified in 21st. Oh, no, that was it. They had 3 guys in the RC tonight.
It didn't look like he even started. That was, yeah.
Yeah, so 20 cars took to the grid, and certainly plenty of action throughout. Even if I did feel like I was sort of making up the most randomest conversation tonight. Certainly a bit fatigued there. But a great race for my return after 2 weeks away. And certainly 2 very interesting races to come with Bathurst and Le Mans. So we're just waiting for the drivers to make their way into the briefing room. Bit of donuts to be done on the starting grid. No, none of them are here yet.
The 2 KFC cars out there cooking some tyres. They haven't had a great race tonight. Great job from those KFC cars. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Matty Keane kept that third place as well, so that was a great drive from Matty Keane. Great fight backer. So I'll let you bring some people down to us and.
And it's still not there.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah,
We'll just let them do some donuts. I think they're too busy doing donuts, mate. Enjoying. Oh, someone's blown up an engine.
Nobody wants to talk to us tonight, and even going through the Discord, it doesn't seem like there's actually any drivers in the chats either. They're all in their own sort of private Discords. So,
we'll have to just wait.
At the moment, we'll give it a couple of minutes, but it's looking like we might skip the driver interviews tonight because none of them are actually here.
It seems to be.
Oh, here we go. Matty Keane's just jumped in.
Legendary.
Seeing as we're still waiting on the rest.
Oh no, Matty Keane's just jumped out again.
No, I've just moved him in. Matty Keane, mate. We'll jump straight to you while we wait for the rest of the boys to find their way into the green room. Third place in the Pro Series tonight. Great little battle there with Greg Barber towards the end. Talk us through it from your point of view, man.
Yeah, it was an all right race. I knew I had barbs covered because I overfueled by 2 laps, so I just needed to keep pace. I knew I had more in it. I was going to push towards the end, but didn't want to put any risk for barbs to sneak underneath. But no, it was a really good battle. It's just a shame that I had to work it back from the back of the pack again.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. How were you feeling after that? Lap 1, turn 1, because you certainly got the jump on the field, and then that little bit of an incident later on put the effort back in. Forced you to put the effort back in again.
Oh look, I knew the games they were going to play at the start, and it's been a constant thing, and it is causing some controversy towards the back because people are trying to judge it. But no, I know what Adam's going to do on those starts now. It's way too predictable. I can see Barney when we're right underneath him. It's as soon as that flag drops, it's all based on reaction time then. And if you just don't have it, you're just going to be beaten off the line if you're waiting that long. But it was a nice little dive down the inside, and they actually gave me the room, and full respect to them. As for the incident, I'm just not even going to comment.
Yeah, it certainly was a bit of an interesting race in regards to some pretty exciting passing and some pretty interesting sort of little collisions throughout as well. But either way, mate, podium finish still a great result in terms of the championship. Who do you need to thank tonight, man?
I want to thank, firstly, the SLM boys, Jason Lamb and Andrew Proctor, Michael Locke, really pushing me to keep racing because I really got to a point where I don't actually want to get in the rig anymore. But those boys have been absolute wonders, as well as Nathan Allen and Dougie Gowans. They've been messaging me, even though there are affiliate teams and stuff, and we like to get along and we like to rub panels. But those boys have really been pushing me to keep going. And I'd like to thank Dubby. If you're looking for sugar-free and cheap energy drinks, they're really, really nice. I finally had some. They finally came from the States, and they are absolutely beautiful. And it just makes you feel better. It's so much better than a coffee and an energy drink. It's so much cheaper. And if you want to get a 10% discount, use the code SLM at w.gg.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks, mate. That's actually quite interesting sounding because I drink far too much coffee myself and I need something else. It's probably a bit better for me. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you again next week. No doubt, big field coming forward for Bathurst. Alrighty, we will pull in second place now in the Pro Series. Adam Simpson. Mate, bit of a quiet one from you, really. Not too much action on track as far as battles from what we saw, but you found yourself in a good position on track and took away second place.
Yeah, no. Once Husey got past, like that man's a machine. Like I had no hope of keeping up with him.
Yeah, well, yeah. As I say, we didn't really see you in too much of the battles. I don't know whether you perhaps had a different perspective. What was the racing like?
No, it was good. It was good at the start there. Like had a little bit of a battle and whatnot with the boys there at the start, but after the safety car and whatnot, and Kyle, I think it was Kyle, pulled away after the safety car, and well, I knew I wasn't racing him, so I just let him go. It was good. It was finally a good one together.
Yeah, well, certainly a good result for you. Just a bit of a shame we didn't have too many other fishy boys in the field tonight. A bit of a quiet field. I can't say we had 20 cars, but it felt like a bit of a small field. Good points for you in regards to the championship, mate. Who do you need to thank for tonight?
I'd just like to thank West End Motor Group for all their help and what they do behind the scenes. It's good. We've got Adrenaline Images, some good photos and stuff if you want to hit them up. We've got Infinity Designs, Precision Motorsport, Battery Warehouse, and MSG Gaming.
All right, cheers, mate. Adam Simpson, second place in the Pro Series. Congratulations once again.
And
oh, hang on, sorry, we cut him off. Sorry, cut you off there, mate. Go for it. You still there?
yeah, mate, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there. You were saying something?
Yeah, I just want to put a big shout out to Adam Hughes. Like in practice, I was struggling with baseline setup. I couldn't get my setups to work and whatnot. And I noticed he was driving the BMW this week. So I hit him up and like a legend he is, he friggin' shot me his setup. So yeah, thanks to Hughesy.
Yeah, we're about to question him on that one, but I probably won't mention the shout out because it'll go straight to his head. His ego's big enough already.
No, credit's due where it's deserved.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Alrighty, we will pull in the devil himself. Mr. Hughes, mate, first of all, that's the funniest looking Porsche I've ever seen.
Decided to change it up purely because of the next two rounds, and it was probably not. Should have stayed in the Porsche this round, but yeah, next two rounds is where the decision was made because of Bathurst and Le Mans. So I know the Porsche is extremely weak at those two.
So a bit of a tactical decision, using the rulebook in your advantage with your one allowed car change.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I knew the Porsche would be good everywhere else, but yeah, Bathurst it just struggles, and Le Mans I think it's a good second or so off the pace. And the BMW is actually I think the quickest, or if not the second quickest car between the two next two tracks. So yeah, that's the main reason behind it.
Yeah, well, the BMW usually regarded as the big poppy in speed, so certainly more suited to the longer straights of Bathurst and certainly Le Mans as well. In regards to tonight's race, though, seemed like there were some pretty good battles throughout the field. A couple of movers and shakers as well. Talk us through the race start, mate. The tactics sort of was there. Matty Keane sort of suggested you were a bit predictable. What was going through your head?
Race start was try and block off as soon as the green lights went, but I sort of misjudged that a big time, and then I think it was Matty Keane got down inside and he just had a bad run just overall, so there's not much I can do about it, so like, fair to him. And then I sort of got into turn one and turned to hit the apex, and then wasn't informed that there was another car next to me, and basically just sliced the car that was on my right, hence the spin, and getting dumped to 20th or 22nd, wherever it was. So yeah, there's not much I can do about that. Well, Lane Grease just had to take it on the chin and go, oh well, next time I'm just gonna be a little bit more aware. So no, it was just I think it was just balls to the wall again this week, mate, because iRacing's done the new update and have taken out the ability to clutch in at speed and drop the revs, so you can't do that anymore.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's across all the cars now. So I tried it in the race, and you put the clutch in, and the car just keeps revving and going. and accelerating, so you can't actually save fuel because nowhere near as efficiently anymore. So,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
something
really,
I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, they literally just brought it in a day or two ago when the update happened. So yeah, it's literally go hard or go home now. You can fuel save with the throttle coming off, like before the entry of the corner, but I don't know how effective it is. How effective it is now since the update. So what to look into in the future.
Yeah, definitely going to be a game changer. I think moving forward, it's some sort of a strong point for both yourself and Barbs and a couple of others and the Fishy boys that are very good at fuel saving. That whole clutch-in technique suddenly disappears. Look, mate, obviously, as we sort of come to expect with you, a bit of a freak regardless of what you drive. But that shunt delivery definitely looked very nice on the BMW. Who else do you need to thank?
Obviously the boys at Crisscross for another good race. Shout out to poor Barbs. He didn't have much pace tonight, and the plan was for him to try and get in a second. We'll do the old switcheroo like we did last week at Brendon, but that never sort of eventuated for multiple reasons. Obviously to Shunts, Palmerston Bakery, Real Estate, Jennifer Russell Real Estate, Paulmaster Bayside, Doomed, which is our design maker for all our cars. Tyler Schwartz, that is. Massive shout out to him. And obviously to you guys doing comms and the what do you call it? Cameras and comms, as well as all the other competitors that come in every week. I know it's a bit of an ask doing 90 minutes each Friday night, but yeah, it's good to see we have a decent turnout day in, day out, and tipping we'll get a pretty big turnout next week and the week after, being two excellent tracks for the cars.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Oh, well, I think you need to jump in Discord and get Barbs in a BMW for next week, because clearly he's going to need it. I'll leave you guys to it, and we will pull in Matty Gerard. Matty, you're the only one of the AM drivers that actually jumped up into the green room. Where were you? Second, third in the AM class?
Second.
Second? Yeah, well, it certainly looked like a sort of race where the AM drivers were dominating. As we looked through the list, we had, Robbie Bradbury in there. We had the likes of yourself battling with Gowans. Peter Pavlovic was in the mix for quite a while as well. Cowie was looking promising for a top 10. So, some good racing from the AMs throughout.
Yeah, I think it was. In all honesty, I think it was good racing from everyone, there was a couple of incidents along the way, but only one safety car, and a lot of us were expecting 2, maybe 3 safety cars. But it was good, clean racing, and I think it comes back to everyone racing each other so much in all the different SRW leagues that we're starting to learn each other's style of racing, and we're giving each other room and all that sort of thing. It's been really good, getting better and better each week.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, and I sort of had to laugh. Matty Keane in his interview was saying that the race start with Adam Hughes was getting pretty predictable. They're starting to learn all his tricks, and that kind of just backs up what Matty was saying. Is like you get to know these guys, you know how they all perform. Yeah. But also too, at a track like Red Bull, it kind of levels the playing field, because it's such a it's sort of, how do I put it? It's a good mix of like big braking zones and sort of flowy, smoothie corners. You can run side by side. It lets you guys actually race.
Yeah, 100%. 100% it does. No, it's a good track. I know a number of people don't like it. I quite enjoy it. And just, as you say, it's a good, nice flowing track and plenty of racing room for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, you're sitting fairly tidy in the championship standings. Obviously, we've got Bathurst and Le Mans still to come. How do you feel about those tracks being a little bit different in layout?
Yeah, look, I sort of only just learned Bathurst properly last season, actually in the TCR series. And since then, I've slowly started to fall in love with the track, like so many other people have.
Don't say that. You're converting over to being Australian. Don't say that.
Ooh, come on now. That's a low blow from me, isn't it?
Oh, mate, come on.
No, it's all good. Hey, look, it's a good track. It's not as open as Red Bull is. So, there's a lot of bit of single file up through over the mountain and everything. So it's going to be a bit closer racing, probably more incidents, there's more safety cars coming through. So it's going to be good viewing for everyone who tunes in to watch.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Oh, well, second place tonight, good result for you. Who are you needing to thank, mate?
All right. Hey, look, I'll start off with all the Velocity SimLab boys. We got Doug Gallen, Daniel Fritz, Tyler Sheaf, Dylan DeBono, Nathan Allen, and the big boss, Stephen Cass. Hey, we're a good team, mate. We're pitching and helping each other every week with setups and driver training, everything we can. And we're a good bunch of guys. So big thanks to them with their help. Then I've got, Velocity Sim Labs in general, Original Digital Design, JS Sim Shots, Here to Race YouTube channel, Speedhouse, and Peter Suspension. So that's everyone, eh? Thanks to everyone involved and you boys in the background.
There's no worries, mate. Congratulations once again, and no doubt we'll see you in the coming weeks.
Beautiful. Look forward to it.
Cheers, mate.
What's up, Matty?
Alrighty. Well, that brings to a close our broadcast for this week. Toddy, any final thoughts?
Sorry, apologies. Just a bit of
Yeah,
technical issues
you wake
there.
up there.
Apologies.
Any final thoughts from you, Toddy?
Oh, my biggest thoughts is this going to be, especially coming into Bathurst and then Le Mans, this is going to be insane. Bathurst, I know a lot of these guys will love Bathurst. It's a different beast in the GT3 car, so it's really going to separate the boys from the men, I think, next week. And then Le Mans is definitely going to even another level up between the boys and the men. I think Le Mans even a different level of skill, just because it's a totally different tune, and how much wing they're going to have to take out, but how much you're going to have to keep in as well, because you want to keep your drag down, etc., but you still want to be able to pull yourself up, for those really kind of tough corners at Le Mans. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys tackle the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything you just said, really. Bathurst is a whole different beast in itself. It's a track that all of our drivers are very, very familiar with. Le Mans is something, I think, brand new to SRW. And it's going to be a completely different vibe as a series closer. And, I'd like to see something a little bit different, mix it up. Obviously, the likes of Le Mans, it has its long straights and it has its technical bits, so there's opportunities there to sort of play around with it from a broadcast point of view too. So I'm quite looking forward to that as well. Certainly some exciting racing to come in the final 2 weeks. But for us here in the GT3 series, it does bring the broadcast to a close. Make sure you tune in Sunday night for the V8 Supercar Pro-Am series. But for now, I've been Brendon Walton, joined by Toddy, and we are signing off for tonight. We'll see you all later.
Much love, legends. Keep safe.
To turn one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff from Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble model right now because tell you what, Bruce Tennant, Jamie Dyke just sort of blown away from him.